The next one is my wife versus Ben and Jerry's ice. There's an ice cream Wait, I need this. Guys, learn your lesson, okay? Never get in between your girl and her ice cream, okay? Hi YouTube, welcome back to hell. My name is Red Senshi. Let's take a little gander at LockPickingLawyer. This channel aims to dedicate consumers about weakness and defects in security devices so they can make better security decisions. It should go without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Do not use any of the information presented in the video for illegal purposes. I love that disclaimer. Yes, I also agree. Alright, the first video is you're doing it wrong. The real double wrench method.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I recently saw a YouTube video with over 60 million views.
Sheesh.
Showing how to break open a padlock using 2 wrenches just like these. Now I'll leave a link in the description below, but essentially the video shows this arrangement. The 2 wrenches are inserted through the shackle of the padlock such
and then
that
you
when
just,
they are pressed together, they lever against each other and exert an incredible amount of outward force on the inside of the shackle. Now, if you think about it, you realize that the force exerted by the wrenches is actually directed to the thickest part of the shackle and then through the shackle to the lock body. Now, in the video, it's the pot metal lock body which breaks because of the extreme forces, of course, but also because of the weak lock material. But the trick really doesn't scale up because the forces are being exerted to a strong part of the lock. So even with a mildly confident padlock,
I
the
see.
trick's going to fall flat. But I don't think it has to if we can redirect those forces to a weak part of the lock. So consider this master lock. If we had to choose the weak parts of this lock, I'd probably start with these little cutouts in the shackle where the locking lugs go, and then the locking lugs themselves. Those are probably the physically weakest parts of the lock. So if we can redirect the extreme forces exerted by these wrenches to those parts of the lock, I think we have a trick that could probably scale up to some stronger locks. So it's actually not that hard to do.
Man, I remember these. I think these ones are the heavier locks too. Yeah, it looks quite heavy. Judging by it looks quite heavy and sturdy.
All we do is reorient one of those wrenches. We put the first one in like so, and then the second one at a 90-degree angle. So let's see what happens when we try this.
Oh my gosh, how much for? Whoa!
Okay, looks like we broke something, but it's not completely open.
So you don't need a lot of force to do that? Oh.
There we go.
Sorry,
okay,
I got startled.
let's take a look at exactly what happened. If we look at this shackle, you can see that it broke right on both of the shackle cutouts. So absolutely the weakest
Look at the little shards of metal too, or what is this even? What is this material?
points of the metal there. Now, because this directs the forces to the weak parts of the lock rather than the strong parts, I think this is a far superior method to that shown in the video with 60 million views, and it's probably something that's going to scale up better and work on far stronger locks. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe.
This is such an educational video.
Have a nice day.
Well, I learned something new today. Because I think we've all had the experience of getting locked out of a room or getting locked out of your own house. The next one is my wife versus Ben and Jerry's ice. There is an ice cream Wait, I need this. I am a fiend for ice cream. Like, I want to consume ice cream on the daily. That's why I need a Ninja Creamy, because I need to make ice cream that has less sugar.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and today I'm going to attempt one of the most dangerous things ever caught on camera. I'm going to get between my wife and a pint of her favorite ice cream, and we're going to do it with this, a Ben & Jerry's Euphoria lock. It's a plastic 3-digit combination lock specifically designed to secure a pint of ice cream. Now, this is a lock that is incredibly easy to decode. In fact, I don't recall ever seeing a combination lock with gates that were so easy to locate by feel. But that's actually perfect for what I have in mind. You see, I've always wanted to get Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer in.
Sorry, I need to interrupt there quickly. Just imagine it's 2 a.m. and you go out of bed and then you see your wife trying to find out the combination to this lock so that she can have her ice cream. I think that'd be really funny.
Interested in non-destructive entry.
Is that any better?
And this combines a beginner lock with a really nice incentive to learn. So what I'm going to do is lock up a pint of her favorite ice cream, Ben & Jerry's Vanilla Caramel Fudge, put it in the freezer, and when she finds it, hopefully I'll be able to convince her to join me on camera, and I will teach her how to open this up.
Okay.
So, off this goes to the freezer, and I will update you soon.
The fact that this exists blows my mind.
Okay, folks, I really should have known better. I came home today to find my wife standing next to the refrigerator, looking like the cat that ate the canary. So I opened up the freezer and I found this. So it seems that the lessons of the day come courtesy of Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer, who reminds us all, first, that security is only as good as its weakest link, and second, that no man should ever get between his wife and her ice cream.
Facts.
In any case, that's all I have for you today.
100%
If you do
facts.
have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always,
100%
have a nice day.
Guys, learn your lesson, okay? Never get in between your girl and her ice cream, okay? Next video we're watching is Unpickable locks from Stuff Made Here.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and the video you're about to watch is the culmination of a series of events that started about 6 months ago.
Okay.
That's when Shane, at the excellent YouTube channel Stuff Made Here, posted a video build of an unpickable lock. That video, which I will link below, also challenged.
Yeah, this one, I guess, looks like a typical pickable lock, and then this one has like a S.
Me to open it.
Opening.
I obviously accepted because the lock is here, but Shane wanted to improve his design first. And by improve, he seems to have meant completely redesign from the ground up, because what I received was the original lock and a second lock which bore no internal resemblance to the first. And I have to say, I had a great time with these because both mechanisms are, to the best of my knowledge, completely original and, in my opinion, quite good. Fortunately for me, though, Shane doesn't have a lot of experience with lock defeat methods, so there were a few minor oversights that I was able to exploit. However, each of the issues I found can be fixed with very little effort, which would result in formidable lock designs. Before we pick these, I want to explain what I'm going to do so my actions don't look too cryptic. That will require some reference to the internals, but if you want a detailed look at what's inside, you need to check out the Stuff Made Here YouTube channel.
That is so intricate. Yeah, look at that system. It's like a whole clockwork in there.
You need to check out the Stuff Made Here YouTube channel, and all the appropriate links are below. The first lock, this one, looks something like this on the inside.
Okay.
When you insert the key, the pins in contact with the key will lift these upper pins that are shown in gold. Those pins then lock into place and rotate until they're in contact with this fin. There are gates in the fin, and only if these upper pins are in the correct position will they pass through.
Right. Okay, yeah. It gets pushed down. Okay.
Notably, however, when that test phase occurs, when those upper pins encounter the fins, they are no longer in contact with the key pins. That's what makes this unpickable in theory. What I'm going to do is lift all of the upper pins as far as they will go, lock them in place, rotate them until they're in contact with the fin, and then drop them down until they fall into their gates.
Okay, I'm not gonna understand everything thoroughly because first, I don't know what he means by fins. The gates, I get it, but the fins? What are the fins?
It usually takes a few attempts for it to work, but the method seems to be reliable. The second lock is even more complex than the first.
The fish part of the lock. Does it have gills?
It actually has two cores attached with an internal connecting rod. If we look at the back, we can see the bottom core, the top core, and the connecting rod. The shear line that matters is the one on the upper core, which we can't access to tension. It's behind this area of the lock. By the time that upper core actually turns, the bottom core is offset by about 45 degrees, which means you can't move the pins. That's why
this really is a form of art.
At least in theory, unpickable. Put differently, when you can access the pins, you can't tension the lock, and when you can tension it, you can't access the pins. I'm going to try to get around that by inserting a thin piece of metal between the door and the lock housing. Then slide it up until we're over the top of that upper core, and then pull down, which should tension the upper core. Once that happens, I should be able to pick this as I would a normal lock. There are two other potential vulnerabilities. The first arises from a common...
Okay, Chad, did you get that? Did anyone get that part? I think he lost me at the 45-degree angle with the force.
Combination of this core rotating 45 degrees in either direction until it seizes up, and the tailpiece being misclocked by about 45 degrees. When we pick, you'll see why that makes a difference, but I think you'll get a chuckle when you see how they interact. The second vulnerability is decoding, and we can do that because all of these upper driver pins are the same length. A tool can be fashioned to lift all the pin stacks to the stopping point, fully compressing the springs. That's an indirect way of measuring the key pins, which would allow us to cut a key. I did not create that tool because I had another way to open this, but that's something that used to be common before manufacturers started varying these lengths. Okay, I have been talking for too long. The jig that Shane sent me to pick these in is way too big to fit on my desk, so we are going to mount these up, head down to the garage, and try to open them.
So you would need specific tools.
Both locks are mounted in this mock door.
Okay.
And the frame is secured to my workbench.
Yeah, I'm more of a visual learner, so...
The newer of the two locks and discuss a vulnerability enabled by the fact that this core will turn about 45 degrees before it seizes.
Okay.
That creates an issue as the lock interacts with the deadbolt. Now, under normal circumstances, a deadbolt that is fully extended can't be pushed back into the door. However, if we turn this core as far as it will go, it's just enough to disengage the anti-retraction mechanism.
Oh,
that's something we can certainly take advantage of.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes so much more sense. Because some locks, when you're able to pull them with a card, right, it'll just retract. So this one, if it's fully, not retract, then you can't move it. So he just needs to hit a certain degree of retraction before he can fully retract it and play. Okay, it makes sense. That's cool. That's really cool.
The door is locked. All we need to do that is something that will turn the core and something pointy like the tip of my pocket knife. So I'm going to turn this as far as it will go, then use the point of the knife to walk the bolt back.
Oh.
Might as well let them know we're here.
Ding dong, your door is already open, by the way. He is very funny. I like his humor. But what is this tool called? What is this tool?
Next, we are going to attempt a
the thin one
attack, though certainly not a traditional one. We discussed it upstairs.
It's a tension wrench.
What I'm going to do is attempt to slip this between the door and the housing so we can tension the upper core. Pushing this in will do damage to the door. However, I don't think it'll be a lot of damage, and I don't think it'll be very noticeable because it'll be on the bottom. However, I will show you the damage after we're done. The hard part will be getting this into position, so let's do that now. I am
It looks
pushing
so...
the tool against the door.
Is it not going to
doesn't
break?
deform.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's what he demonstrated
I
earlier.
might have it, but the only way to be sure is to pull on these pliers and see if the pins are binding. There we go. Click out of 1. Little click on 2. Nothing on 3. Little click on 4. Little click on 5.
Okay, again.
1, 2. Another click on 3.
Try again.
Click on 4. Nothing on 5. I don't feel anything else. Let's see if we have this open.
Was that a fake? Was that a fake dog?
Now let's work
working?
on the older lock. Once again, I discussed the theory of what we're going to be doing while we were upstairs. However, it's a little bit harder in practice. First, we need to lock it. Okay, I'm going to use this pick to lift all the pins.
Okay, so
to
that's just
their
a
highest
normal
position.
lockpick. Did it work?
And when I release these, I'm going to be tapping on the housing with this mallet. It allows for a little bit more control as the pins come down, and it increases the chances of success from about 1 in every 10 times to 1 in every 2 or 3.
I mean, you would, if you were trying to lockpick and you would make those banging noises, you just get caught.
I think we've got it.
Okay, so let me look again real quick. Take a good look at this tool that he's using.
Once again, I discussed the theory of what we're going to be doing while we were upstairs. However, it's a little bit harder in practice.
Yeah, because what is
First, we need
this
to lock
thing?
it.
Oh, is that just... Did he just make that? Hi, Spectre! Yeah, what is this thing, chat? Looks like half of a key. It's just a bit of a key without the teeth. Ah, okay.
Okay, folks, let's bring all this stuff back upstairs. I will show you the damage underneath, and we will sum everything up. Okay, folks, we are back upstairs, and I'm going to briefly address how to fix each of the exploits I demonstrated, but first, let's take a look at the damage to the door. It's certainly noticeable once the lock is removed, though much of the damage is covered by the lock.
Scraped
and
a bit of the
part that
wood.
isn't is probably obscured because it's underneath the bulky housing. Frankly, even if I saw that, I'd probably attribute it to sloppy installation and not to an attack.
Right.
While we're looking at the door, note that Shane welded both of the hinge pins, probably to stop me from popping the pins and declaring victory. And I've got to say, he did the right thing because I definitely would have done that. Moving on to the locks.
See, we prefer doors with a hinge. We prefer hinge behavior.
Issue with the first lock can be fixed easily by decreasing the angle of the fins so there's no slope for them to rest on. Frankly, a reverse rake would probably be advisable. With the second lock, the first exploit can be fixed with a slight modification to this moving tailpiece, reclocking that cutout by about 45 degrees. There are about a dozen ways to fix the picking exploit and deny access to the back of the lock, but when I told Shane about it, he precision machined a back cover, which is probably the most expensive solution, but certainly one that works. So, I hope you all enjoyed this.
Gotcha.
Shane, excellent work on these locks, and thank you so much for sending them my way. To everyone else, that's all I have for you today.
This was a
If you do have any
collab.
questions or comments about this, please put them below.
I have so
If you
many
like this video
questions.
and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you.
That was nice edutainment video. But yeah, I would assume that it's, these kind of locks are like heavily bolted against the door without a shim being able to slip up. But yeah, that's the mechanic I guess they use to deter that.